Okay. Okay, so thanks for coming. That's a big group. I didn't expect so many. I thought, as usual, to be able just to talk to a couple of people and chairs and lunch. So it's amazing you're here. So feel free to ask me anything, to challenge everything I say, because what I say is not conventional, it's not in magazines, it's not the common information that is out there. It's not what people believe, it's not what people are instructed in school by parents or anything like that. It's coming from real experience, and everything that I explain is coming from the perspective of working with people that have already a problem. So it doesn't mean that you have to deny your fantasies or whatever you want to explore. I'm just saying things that are good for your health, considering that the sexual energy is a big percentage of our own energy. Can you guess what percentage it is?
90%?
90? It's a little bit less, but it's important. It's not 60, it's something a little bit less.
40?
Yeah, it can be up to 40% for men and females. So it's a lot. So it means that if I get out of balance with that, my life is already out of balance. It's 40% out of balance, and the rest is work and sleep. So it's very easy to get out of balance. Come in? Hey, no problem. Okay. So the first thing I want to start with is why people get in trouble with their sexual energy. Two reasons. The majority of my clients, they're probably 40 to 60, that's that age, in which they get very busy with their family life. So maybe they have 3, 4 kids, a husband to please, and they have responsibility with work, and life is busy. So, so in that scenario, it becomes really, really difficult to access this sacred space, access those desires, create time to be present in the body. So a lot of women, they tell me like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I do it with my husband, but I'm not there. I'm thinking about shopping tomorrow, kids and stuff like that. So it's okay. We can tolerate periods like that. You know, we are built for tolerating stress and stuff like that. But if that becomes a pattern and becomes normal, because all my friends are living that life, it's my responsibility as a mother to live like that. It's not good, because sooner or later, usually after 2 years, the body can take stress for a couple of years, and you can deny a part of yourself for a couple of years, and after something has to change. People that live in, let's say, nuns, or people that live in celibacy by choice, and they don't cultivate even that energy at all, like they don't fantasize about, they don't go there, they start to harden their body. So the body is kind of like becoming stiffer and stiffer, especially in the genital area, and that area becomes stiff, the energy cannot circulate. So you experience that even if you eat a lot, you do movement, this energy cannot go up. So you start to miss creativity, you start to miss the ability to connect with people, to love, to do all the things that are the expression of that sexual energy. So even for those people, there is a solution. So people that choose to live in that situation, they can express sexual energy with creativity, painting, dancing, something that liberates that energy and creates something else. But it's vital to utilize that energy, because if we don't, it stagnates there and creates a block. So I don't know if you have an experience maybe of a period in the past in which you were stressed, you were suppressing that energy, trying to control it. Do you have an experience like that? Yeah? You remember a period in which? Yeah. So what happens? Then this energy, as soon as we are more relaxed, becomes explosive. Boom! So we might do behaviors that are not totally ourselves, because this is exploding. So we have to recuperate time lost. So I do things that I shouldn't do normally. So it's really important that this energy flows. And the flow of this energy it's really powerful, and it starts obviously from this area, even from just below the navel. The navel, that's where we store sexual energy, and it goes up to our spine, and then it goes up to our head here, and comes down. So it goes in a circle. And I don't know if you can remember when you were really creative, really excited and passionate about something, and you were, your projects were becoming real. You felt the fire in your ideas. You remember something like that in which everything was flowing? Yeah? That's sexual energy. So it's easy to connect with other people. It's easy to open our heart. It's easy to make things happen because it's flowing. See? So we can try an experiment straight away to see if we can visualize this energy. So close your eyes for a second. Close your eyes for a second. Stay comfortable with your legs uncrossed, so you allow the maximum flow of energy. And so put your hand just below your navel. And imagine that there is a lot of sexual energy. So every time you breathe, there is more sexual energy coming there. And assign the color red to this energy. And see that it's there. And now I want you to visualize this light, red light, going upwards over your spine. Up and up and up. Then it goes to your neck, to your head, top of your head, your front, nose, mouth, and comes down. So it creates a circle and keeps going and going and going. And now try to lift up that energy a little more, trying to breathe from your genitals. So imagine that the air and the energy is coming from your genital area, and you have to do the conscious effort to bring it up. Bring it up to your head. Bring it up to your head and let it come down. Bring it up to your head and let it come down. More powerful breathing. Very powerful when you inspire. Okay. And it's important as well to put your tongue on the top of your palate, so you can create a better flow. Okay. Take your time to feel the experience. And that's the way in which we should open ourselves up when we are making love. Because this energy has to travel and open up all the chakras, all the energy centers. And that's a gift, especially for women. Women might feel way more confident, powerful, joyful when this energy is traveling up. Okay, when you're ready. So it's important as well to remember that this energy, once it has traveled up, has to come down again. Because if it stays up, it makes you very lightheaded all day, and you lose your grounding. So you can be going all over the place. But if you want more creativity, if you want more power, male and female, that's the way to go, to pump the energy up. That's the way. So we live in a society in which we are fed with the idea that being in control, being warriors, being masculine, being macho is good. So, hello, hey.
Sorry,
Perfect, thanks for joining. And in this culture, obviously women, they are taking more, even at work, roles of leadership. So managers, they have to be in charge. And the only role model women have is men, or women that are acting from a masculine energy. So there is no model of leadership at the moment that is feminine, that is pure feminine. I mean, there is, but it's not mainstream. It's not what the average person can access. So women are confused. So they live in this masculine energy for many hours of the day. And they think, oh, I'm a strong woman, it's cool, I'm strong. That's okay. But if you live every single day in that energy, every single moment you're denying your femininity. And maybe it's my observation, but I've seen many women be promoted as managers and started to cut their hair shorter, working a little more as a masculine. No, this is not right for the design of the body. We are designed to serve our own sexuality as we are born. So even if a person is born lesbian or gay, has to respect that design. So we have to remember not to suppress anything, because if I suppress because okay, I'm doing this for 2 years because of my career, it's already too long. Your body cannot take it. 2 years of suppression is too long. You will pay some consequences at a certain stage. And one of the consequences that I see every second person is that people tell me I cannot feel emotions anymore. Even if I strive, I don't have the sense of compassion, the sense of being able to love, be able to connect with things anymore. Where is gone? I say, it's not a surprise. If you have been suppressing all this for all these years, what do you expect? So the body is just obeying what you're holding on. So is that something that is your experience, is something that you see around you happening, or is just my unique perspective? Yeah, you see that, yeah. And does it worry you when you see that over and over?
Well, I don't think that the women around me that are in leadership are masculine.
Okay, so you have
I
good
don't
examples.
believe that. So I think they are.
And do you feel that they are balanced in their sexuality? Okay.
I think actually they probably have, more control as well. There is like a, probably, kind of, because they are in a leadership position, so they maybe are freer to express their will.
Excellent. So they're doing well, and I suppose they will never come to see me for a blockage.
Well, I don't know if I want to see you for a blockage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everybody is like this, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People that I know.
Okay,
don't seem to have
so
that
that's a good
in
example.
them.
That's a good example. I live like a person that is working in the hospital. You only see people that they already had the problem. So, and I can tell that it's not a healthy way to live, to constantly suppress, because as well there are those women that they pretend to be man eaters. I can have all the men I want, and again it's a masculine model. So they're taking on this masculine model, impressing on themselves, and I discovered that there are already people using hypnosis to impress in their mind, okay, that's right for me, I can do that, I won't suffer. And that mind over body, again, is just an imposition that is not totally right. First of all, because if it was right, you don't need hypnosis for your body. So you don't need to press on your mind some ideas that are not yours. So this is causing problem number one. Problem number two is for women of any age, and especially women that are like in their 60s, 70s, they tell me, hey, you know what, my life is great. I don't have fun anymore, I don't dress up anymore, I don't have a reason to dress up. Passion is gone from marriage, whatever, and I would like to sparkle this, to bring life again to my body. How can I do that? Okay, work is required. There's no, because the body and the mind are being trained for many years again. So it's really, really important for a woman to express her sensuality. It's vital. So there's no such a thing of repressing, especially if a person, imagine, works long hours in front of the public or in office. So inevitably, that sensuality has to be compressed. Work is not the place to put out that energy. And everybody has to find a way to express that sensuality. And it's the nature of women to do that. And us men, we really appreciate the freedom of a woman that has her own sexuality. And another cliche is that, oh, she's beautiful, I'm not, and they go that way. It doesn't really matter to men that are a little bit more awake and looking a little bit beyond the mere appearance. Because if the energy is right, this woman is expressing herself, the level of attraction can be crazy. I know women that I don't know why they don't have anything, in their external body that I would consider attractive, that everything that maybe can go wrong, in terms of beauty. But they're extremely attractive. They are. And I ask my friends, but it just me, or there is something about this lady? Yes, there is something. We don't know what it is, but there is something. Is that flow of sensuality, that natural flow. And the same is true for men. Men, they have a different way of projecting, but at the same time, we are in a society that is in which we have to behave well, pretend we don't have the sexual desire. Oh, you just want to have sex with me? No, sometimes that's reality. So we are fine in having that desire, and we feel liberated when we have a woman and say, okay, you're fine for that. So flowing again. So I want to do a little bit of a visualization, an exercise in which we can enhance our sensuality. And I'll guide you to make this aura bigger. And the more you expand that, the more you will live in a bubble that is protecting yourself from people that just are coming with bad intentions, and will pull to you people that they recognize your unique energetic makeup and your unique sensuality. And this is so important because a woman at any age, in any condition, I know a lady she's after a transplant, a recuperation, and she decided consciously to cultivate that energy. Unbelievable. She's radiating beauty, even after all the scars, all the pain. It's incredible. So this energy, it's really perceivable by other people, and it's really giving you a boost. It's really allowing you to live very, very lively, very, very sensual. So when you're ready, close your eyes again. And I want to focus on the area just below your navel. And I want to imagine that from there you can project forward a beam of light. So this light that you project forward is very strong, it's very powerful. It's so powerful that it can give life to another human being. So it's a very, very powerful energy. And now I want you to imagine that this light you project, it's very strong, and you can project it for 1, 2, 3 meters ahead. And now I want to imagine that this light you can project in front and on the back of yourself. So it's a beam of light that is transpassing you, coming from you, from this fire inside. And now I want you to have this ball of light traveling again up towards your stomach, your chest, your throat, your head. It's like you becoming an egg of light. Very, very sensual energy. And now this light is traveling down to complete the journey towards your legs, your knees, your feet. So you're immersed in this very powerful, very sensual energy. And seeing this energy, how you get more freedom in expressing yourself. So feel free to change your expression in your face. Expressing more sensuality. Feel free to adjust your posture and make more movements that are fluid, more movements that are essential. And imagine how people around you can feel as they're passing by this beam of light and energy that you are emanating. See how women will look at you. See how men react to that. And you really take the freedom to express all the sensual power you have without restriction, because this light is protecting you. And see that this light is making your body very, very flexible. And in this mood, it's easy to be creative, to dance, to initiate a conversation. And feel free that people are just people that are resonating with that energy are just pulled into you. And they appreciate your confidence, your freedom in expressing all that, while the majority of people that is suppressing because they're afraid of being judged, afraid of being put in a corner. And expand this energy, feel free to dance with that. And know that this is your essence, this is your unique makeup. This is what other people are perceiving once they are around you. This is very powerful. Okay. Stay there as long as you like. And you're ready to okay, so those exercises are possibly daily practices. If you start your day projecting that energy out, your day will be easier. Because it's an energy that is protecting you. So people cannot invade the space. They feel, okay, I cannot go further. And I've seen that happen in my experience. When my energy is really strong, I see people deflecting. Maybe somebody is coming in my direction to annoy me. Boom, 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 come here. Still in the aura feels bigger. Boom, going somewhere. Just maybe comes here and then forget what that goes. So it's crazy. And this guarantees you that you attract to you people that are in tune with you. And a lot of the stories I hear is that, well, I don't know how I attracted this idiot in my life. I don't know. Why do I attract this man that just want to use my body? Why that? The story is the same. Each time they start to say, okay, I know, right? Very good. So the thing is happening because in very crowded places or in very stressful periods of our life, our energy field is small, so it's easily invaded. And when we feel threatened, we look for help. So the first person around that can give help, that can make me feel normal, that can make me feel less wounded, would be the person that I hang on in order to feel safer. And that's where the trouble starts. So if I hang around, coming from a feeling of small aura, feeling not right, pressurized, disaster will happen. And unless I'm curious about experiencing what is the disaster situation, and that's fine, I wouldn't be me if I hadn't experienced what does it mean. So it's an experiment, so you can try if you like. But for building health, for avoiding those traumas all the time, it's important to project the right energy and you feel, okay, it's me. And if it's too private, if it's too stressing the situation, walk away. You don't have to stay. You don't have to demonstrate that you're strong, because it attracts more of that. Okay, so any questions so far before I bombard you with more? Is it happening in reality, or is it just in my little world that I see just this hospital where those dynamics are?
I don't know, it happens.
It happens, yeah? And what is the difficulty? Yeah, because I don't know, what is the difficulty for a woman, I don't know, going to work or being a mother or being very busy and keeping this aura open. Can you judge what is the main difficulty?
Certainly what I see in the world that I work in. I'm an author and an artist, but I work a lot online and among other women who work online. There's a huge amount of giving, trying to put out as much energy as possible, reach as many people as possible, connect with as many, support with as many people as possible, and at the same time, a lot of these people will be partners and mothers, and so it's this sense of giving, and it's giving in a very much a wanted way. Living your truest, fullest work, doing what lights you up. But there comes a point when it's just burnout because there is nothing more to give. Even amongst women who really understand about self-care practices, who really understand about nurturing themselves, still there is this ability just to completely overgive, and then just I read a couple of weeks ago, it was Brené Brown who mentioned it first, but Jen Loudon was talking about it, a vulnerability hangover, which an awful lot of women experience, especially in the business world, in the creative world, when you really put yourself out there, and you felt very, very vulnerable, very, open to potential attack or judgment, and you're there on show, and you literally feel naked, and you've done it, and it's taken all of your courage, and you've done it, and you're elated, and then a couple of weeks afterwards, you're empty, you're a shell, there's nothing left. That's very common amongst women, I see. And we understand the processes of it, but still,
Absolutely. So, having said that, that's a very good point. When you do your own exercise and stuff like that, you have to come to a point when you close yourself up again when you go into the world. So it's creating a shell, the shell is out for you, projecting your energy, but when it's busy, when it's cutting, when you're too vulnerable because you're given everything, you have to start to close, otherwise you will be drained. So in Chinese medicine there are always two kinds of disease. The hot disease, when the organ is overworked, and the cold disease, when the organ is depleted. So in this case, we get depleted, it's not meant to be. So it's important to stay in between those two lines, absolutely.
But also understanding and respecting the cycle that you were talking about, that yes, you can be up and out there, but we also do have periods of kind of darkness and innerness and not being able to, that's how the creative cycle works.
Absolutely. So it works like that. To be able to open this aura so magically that attracts the magic and protects us from things, we need to have a strong energy in our body, strong energy. So we have to cultivate as much energy as we can. And then when we feel that we are going to give too much away, we have to, like animals, we have to just stay apart, call sick, do whatever, and we have to nourish ourselves again. That's something that has to be done. It's impossible to stay on giving all the time. It's impossible. So actually, it's probably half and half the time, or even probably more time of recuperating in order to shine like a flower for a few hours or a fraction of the day. That's important, absolutely. You're saying the right thing.
And it's balancing because in the Western world we're taught that the feminine should be nurturing, so giving out, that is the feminine. And then in the Eastern thought it's kind of the feminine is receptive, so it's balancing that giving out with receiving.
Well, the feminine is the receptive of a very strong energy that is the masculine. So when there is a very good communication between partners, the man can give a lot of energy to the woman. It's vital energy, so it's a lot of energy, and